In today's video, we will be going through the process of downloading and installing Eclipse IDE for Mac OS environment. So let's get to it. Alright, so like I mentioned in today's video, we will be going through the process of installing Eclipse IDE for Mac OS environment. So if you are a Java developer or you're just starting your programming journey in Java, chances are that you might have heard of Eclipse. So Eclipse is one of the most popular IDE out there that is used to create Java applications. Eclipse IDE can also be used to create applications in ABAP, C, C++, JavaScript. I think you can also do programming in Python, PHP. I see a TypeScript. But I think some of these you might have to install plugins in Eclipse as well. But at the primary level, Eclipse IDE was created for programming in Java. Okay, so in this video, we will be going through the process of downloading and installing Eclipse IDE. Okay, but before we jump into it, for Eclipse to work properly, you do need to have Java Development Kit or JDK installed in your environment. So that's one of the first things that you will need to do in order for Eclipse to work properly. And if you have not installed Java JDK, I did a video previously where I went through the process of installing Java JDK on macOS. And one way of checking to make sure that you have Java JDK installed in your environment is if you go to your terminal and just type this command Java version. If you don't see an output like this, that means that you have Java JDK not installed. So you will need to install it. But again, I did a video previously where I went through the process of installing Java JDK, and we also set the environment variables properly. And when you do that, you should be able to uh, type commands like this. Okay, so if you check in your terminal, or if you're in Windows, if you go to your command prompt and type the same command, you should be able to see the version of JDK that is currently running in your local machine. So for me, I have Java JDK 23 currently running, and so this means that I should be able to download Eclipse and run Java programs. You don't also need Eclipse. You can use other IDEs. For example, in the video that I did previously when I was installing Java JDK, I ran a Java program using Sublime. So you can use Sublime, you can use a Visual Studio Code or any other editor that you like for Java, but you do have to have Java JDK installed. Okay, so again, you do need to have the JDK installed if you want to have Eclipse work properly after installing. Let's go ahead with the installation. To install Java, to install Eclipse IDE, all you have to do is go to your browser and just type Eclipse IDE. Okay, so you do that and you will be brought to this. You can see these options here, eclipseide.org. Okay, so this is the website for Eclipse, and this is a template that you can download. So if you open this, I'm going to open it in a new tab, you will see a number of options here, and you'll see here the leading open platform for professional developers. So just hit this icon here or button here that says download. So if you click this one or you open it in a new tab, you will see now the downloads page. Okay, and here we have a number of options here. You see you have Eclipse installer, Eclipse packages, Eclipse developer builds. I think the one that we want to do is install the Eclipse installer. Okay, so I think you can do this in two places. If you go to Eclipse installer or Eclipse packages, you can install the installer. Okay, and the reason why we want to do this is because if let's say, because Eclipse comes in different levels. So you have Eclipse for Java developers, you have Eclipse for Java EE developers, you have C++, PHP, and many other programming plugins or languages. So if say later you want to, so let's for now we are going to to download this one for Java developers, but let's say later you want to do web applications in Java. So if you download the installer, all you have to do is just go to that installer and click it and come and download the specific version that you need. So you don't have to download anymore. So you already have the installer installed. So you just launch the installer and then download or install the version that you need from the installer. Okay. So again, we'll just go ahead and install the Eclipse installer for this. And the version that we want to download here, so you have Mac here, and you do have two versions for Mac. You have this one for x86 and then this one for ARC64. Now the difference between these two is that this one, the first one here, runs you download this one if you're running a macOS that is using Intel chip, and this other one if you're using Apple chip. So to know which chip you're running, if you go to your about this Mac, you will see which chip you're running on. So for me, I'm running on Apple M3. So if you're running on Apple M1, M2, M3, or in future, I don't know if M4 comes or M5. Basically, if you're running on Apple chip, then you do need to install this one for Arc, okay? And so that's what I'm going to be doing. If you're running on Windows, just go ahead and click this one. I think there's only one version for Windows. For Linux, you do need to check the architecture that you are running on for Linux, and you can download the correct version for that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do this. So I'm going to open this. Basically, click the Arc one. And here now we're just going to hit download. So we're just going to download this Eclipse JDK for this. Okay. So this will this has downloaded it. So if you open it, you can see here Eclipse installer JRE for Mac. Okay. So we're just going to double click it, and from here we can double click it. So this will begin the installation. And you can see here says Eclipse installer is an app download from internet. Are you sure you want to open it? We do want to open it. So I'm going to click open. And this should start our installation. Okay. So seems like it installed it automatically. Okay. So I think the reason for this is because I had previously installed it. But if you have not installed it before, you should be able to see some click-through options. So just go ahead and do that. So just click through and you should be able to have a page like this at the end. Okay. So once that is done, this is now our Eclipse installer. Okay, so this one is Eclipse installer, and the one we want to download for is this one for Java IDE. Okay, so we want to download for Java IDE from Eclipse installer. Again, Eclipse installer comes with a number of options. So you can see here you have Java IDE for Java developers, you have enterprise web developers, you have C++. So again, the version of Eclipse that we want to download in this video is this one for Java developers. So we are going to click this and go ahead and click install. So take a note that automatically the JDK version was recognized because we have it installed in our machine. So you can see that we have JDK here. If you don't have JDK installed, it might ask you to go ahead and download it if it doesn't recognize, and do go ahead and do that. And Eclipse is going to be installed in this location. So this is where our IDE is going to be installed. It will be in your users under Eclipse and Java 2024. So let's go ahead and install this. So I'm just going to go and hit install, and this should start our installation process for our Java IDE. Okay, you can see now it is successful. So once that is successful, all you have to do is just go ahead and launch, and this should launch your Eclipse IDE. Okay, so you do have your IDE here now, and from here you can go ahead and launch. But before we do that, I just want to quickly show you, because we don't because once you install it, this icon, we want this icon to be in our applications. And if you go to applications now, you only see the installer. And also if you go to actually, let's move this onto application, move this to application and close this because we're done with this. But if you go to your Finder and go to applications, I don't think we will see Eclipse for Java developers. I don't see it. The only thing we see it is Eclipse installer. And if we go to your launchpad, we don't see the IDE, there's only installer. So we want to see this Eclipse icon here in the launchpad, so that next time we launch it, or the next time we want to launch it, it will be easier for us to know where it is. So to do that, just go, once you launch after installing, just right click on this icon here and go to options and say show in Finder. Okay, so you can keep it in dock, and this will keep it right here at the bottom, but I also want this to be shown in the Finder. I think that's much easier, so I'm just going to say show this one in Finder. Okay, so then you will see this one is in Finder, and from here you should be able to actually see it. Now if we go to, hold on, so let's go ahead and say show it in Finder, and from here actually we want to move it to applications. That's what we want to do. Okay, move it to applications. All right, so again, go to options, show in Finder. That will show you where it's located. It's right, yeah, I think it's already in applications, but yeah, so just show it in Finder, move it to applications, and then now when you come back, you should be able to see it in your launchpad. Okay, and let's go ahead and actually quit this. So I'm going to quit it. We will close some of this, and when we go to our launchpad now, let's go ahead and launch Eclipse. Okay, so this is our Eclipse IDE for Java developers, and you can see here that it is now asking you the location for your workspace. So select a directory as a workspace. So we will go ahead and use this. So Eclipse workspace, it will be created automatically. Go ahead and launch it, and this will launch your Eclipse IDE. Okay, so I'm just going to get out of here, and the first thing actually that you will see, I think again I already had a project created, but if you don't see when you launch it, okay, I think for me it's just going to launch out my project, because again I already had one created before. But when you see it, you will see a welcome page. Okay, when you launch it for the first time, you will see a welcome page. You can exit out of that welcome page, and what you need to do is, I'm going to delete this for this project. I'm going to delete it just so that I can show you. So I'm going to delete it. All right, so you will see something like this when you exit out of the welcome page in your Eclipse IDE. And the first thing that we need to do is we want to create a project so that we can run our Java programs. Okay, so you always need to have a project in order to run it. So we'll go ahead and hit create a Java project, and there's two ways for doing that. So you can hit here where it says Java project, create a Java project, or if you go to file and hit Java project, you will see the same thing. Okay, so I'm just going to click here, Java project, and we want to run hello world. We will create a program called hello world. The default location will be this one, the same workspace. It's going to use JRE22, or if you want to use the specific one, you can choose this one for the JDK that we installed. Okay, so maybe let's use the second one, and the rest of these other ones I will leave them as default. Okay, and I'm just going to hit let's go next here. and yeah, this will be created, hello world will be created, and a source folder, src folder. So you can just go to these other options. If there's some modules that or libraries that you want to install, you can add them here. I'm just going to leave these ones as default and just hit finish. Okay, so this will create your project here, and right here in your source folder, you can see this is just info hello world, but we want now to create a Java class for our hello world. So just go ahead and right click here and then go to class, and we want to create a class called hello world. Okay, so this is just our hello world Java program. Okay, this will be public, and we want to also include public static void main, and it's not letting us finish. There's an error here saying a package must be specified. Okay, so we do need to have a package here, so I'll just say demo here for the package. Okay, so you can have any, you can just create any package name, just you can put any name here, or if you have a package created before, just put it here, and let's go ahead and finish. Okay, so this will now create our hello world Java program, and you can see here it pre-populated the rest of the code for you, and now you just have to add here your print statement. So here we'll just go ahead and say print.out.println, and we will say here hello world. Okay, and then just end it with a semicolon. There we go. Okay, so now we have our code complete. From here, all we have to do is just run this code. So to do that, just go ahead and hit this button here where it says run hello world.java. So we do that, and we are going to save it. We'll say okay, and there we go. Okay, so you can see at the bottom here now we have our code running and printing out. All right, so now we can say that we have successfully run our Python program, and then from here now you can go ahead and extend this code. Okay, so you can now learn, if you're just beginning your programming journey in Java, you can extend this code, so you can do loops, you can do inheritance, all of those things, the juicy things that come with Java and Java programming. Okay, so you can just and then you can also comment it out, and then when you do that, just go ahead and run it. Okay, so every time, looks like every time you want to run, you have to save it before you run. Okay, but you can see this is now very easy. You don't have to compile this code, it automatically does the compilation for you. So if you are using some other IDEs like Notepad++, Sublime, those ones you do have to compile your code before you run. But with Eclipse, it does the compilation for you. All you have to do is just write your code and save it and run, and you will see the output right here. Okay, so Eclipse is actually quite powerful with Java programming. But again, in this video, I just wanted to show you quickly how to do that, how to download Eclipse and install it and run it in your local environment. All right, so we have done that, and if you now exit out of Eclipse, I kept this one in dock. So if we say, I think if you remove it in dock, you can still go back to your launchpad and find it here and launch it. Okay, so just go ahead and launch it. It always uses the same workspace unless you specify otherwise. All right, and you can see it brings you to where you last left. All right, guys, so that is basically how you install Eclipse IDE on your environment. I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, please give thumbs up on this video. Please put your comments in the comment section, and if you have not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe so that you can stay updated for your next upcoming videos. Again, if you want to watch a number of videos I've done previously, take a look into this channel. I have done videos on DBT, I've done videos on GCP, I've done videos on AWS, and there's still more coming on the topics of data engineering and the tools that are used in data engineering. So if you are interested in topics like that, please do subscribe to the channel and do stay updated. All right, guys, that's all I had for you this morning. I will see you next time. Bye bye.